Faith doesn't cancel feelings. You can post, "God is good," and still cry in your car. You can love Jesus deeply and still battle anxiety, depression, or exhaustion. That doesn't make you faithless. It makes you human, and Jesus understands that ache. Faith does not erase your emotions. It gives you a place to bring them. God never asked you to pretend. He just wants you to come as you are, even in your weakness. Hello, my friends. Welcome back. Grab your gloves because we're about to pour some magic. My name is Tammy, and I'm so glad you joined the chaos with me today. We are going to play with these Delaminating Alcohol Inks by Kamenskaya. I did want to mention this. I noticed on the back of the box here, it states that they recommend using the inks within 6 months of opening. I can't tell you if they stop performing after 6 months, but I wanted you to know that's what the box states, and I'll continue testing the inks, and I'll let you know if they still perform the same way or what's going on with them if you're interested. These were, this box was $50. That is pretty pricey for some inks that stop performing after 6 months. So, I don't know. I didn't know that before I purchased this, but that doesn't mean that they're not going to be wonderful. That doesn't mean we're not going to enjoy creating with them. And it doesn't mean that they stop performing after 6 months. It may just be something that the manufacturer puts in there in case something was to happen with the inks after 6 months, then they aren't liable. You know, I don't know. But like I said, I will keep you informed and let you know what happens after 6 months. So let's get in this box. These are very different. They are for canvases, not resin. But I have a really cool idea that I think is going to be so much fun to play around with. Now, how you make these inks do their magic is you have to have 99% isopropyl alcohol. That's what's in this bottle here. And you mix 2 to 1 to get the inks to expel the magic. But what we're going to do is we are going to pour resin in our molds here. I'm using 4 molds here. And we're going to pour resin. I'm using the Bond Crafter epoxy resin. It has a part A and a part B. I mixed up 6 mils. 6 mils? No. 6 ounces. I'm sorry. I was like, wait a minute. That don't sound right. 6 ounces. And we're going to fill these coasters not all the way up, but almost. And then we're going to let them cure. We're going to pop them out and use that smooth surface to use these inks and create something beautiful on top. I don't know what's going to happen. I've never done this before, never used these inks before. I don't know the first thing about them, but I thought it would be a fun place to start. And this is just a little booklet. They have all kinds of different kits. The Peony, Iceland, Volcano, and Sunset. I started to get the Peony. All of them are beautiful, to be honest. Every single one of them. But I ended up getting the ocean themed ones. That's just where I got captivated and drew in at, were these colors. There's a island. Baikal. Bali. White. Ocean. Maldives. Storm. and Sea Wave. So I have them all opened out of the bag. Well, they're not open, but they're all out of the bag. So I'm going to set them all over here, the inks. And then we're going to go ahead and pour our coasters. I'm going to spritz some alcohol in each one to keep bubbles from forming in them. And then we'll go ahead and pour them. Like I said, I'm not going all the way up, because if we like the design that we get in them, we might pop them back in there and then top coat them in the mold. And I think I have enough to do one more. Yeah, let me get one more out. I'm going to spritz it with some alcohol. There we go. I think all of them is pretty close to having the same in them. That's a piece of glitter or something. Now we're going to take the heat gun and we're just going to move it through there and pop any surface bubbles. And then I'll meet you back when they are fully cured and we can pop them out. I'll meet you back when they're fully cured. Okay? See you later. We are ready to get these coasters out and demold them. I don't know if we should demold them or leave them in there. I don't know which would be the best move. Let's just take them out. Yeah, I think that'll be good. Look at that coaster. Not a bubble in it. I love Bond Crafter epoxy resin. Have you tried Bond Crafter epoxy resin? If you haven't, I wish you would give it a go. It is very, very good quality resin. And the price is amazing right along with it. I just can't believe the price of that epoxy resin, because it is a very, very nice resin. We didn't use a bubble remover machine or anything. I love this epoxy resin. It cures rock solid hard. Very nice. And if you'd like to try this epoxy resin, I wish you would go to their website and purchase it and use my discount code there, because it helps me out a little bit when you purchase it from their website. I'll throw my discount code up here in the corner and then the link down below if you would like to try it and help me out by purchasing it from their website. The only difference is you'll get it maybe 2 days later than you would with Amazon. That's the only difference. What we're going to do to see the difference is I'm going to use my Let's Resin sander, and we're going to sand 2 of them, maybe 3, and leave 2 of them with a shiny surface. And we'll see how that affects the inks. If it will grab them and give us a different effect, or it would be better to not sand it. So let's see. I have a squirt bottle here with some water in it, and I'm going to go ahead and sand it. So I'm just going to spritz some water on it, get my little sanding disc wet too. And I'm not trying to be all perfect, so I grabbed my 300, 600, and 1000 grit. We're going to start with 3. We're going to bop it on this Turn it on. And I'm just going to do all of them at the same time. Whee! Okay, I get my sander all cleaned up after I used it, so that way I can store it and it's nice and clean and ready for next time use. I never take my paper off of my electronics that I receive, whether it's my UV resin lamp or my my sander. I just leave the paper on there because it saves your product from getting scratches and just dirt, resin, whatever. So now we're going to go ahead and wipe these down, clean them up, and we're going to continue to use this basin right here because those inks are we're gonna, you know, kind of move our coaster around and drop the inks off the edges too. So we have definitely taken that shine off and sanded the top really good. So let's go ahead and start with the smooth coaster first. And I have these little measuring cups. They're silicone, and I absolutely love them. I found them at a Goodwill store a long time ago, and I just absolutely love them. Let me show you inside. You see, I have the measurements there. It's in ounces and mils, what I pretty much work with. So I just love them. But we're going to go ahead and use them to set in there and put our coaster on. That way it'll be easy to clean the silicone cup, and we'll have something to keep it up out of the stuff that we're going to leak off into the pan here. Let's go ahead and get our colors mixed up. It's a 2-to-1 on the inks here versus the alcohol. So you put 2 times alcohol and 1 time on the ink. Let's see. And I'm just going to mix up all the colors. I'm going to go ahead and mix them all up. Hopefully they won't dry out before we get to them. I don't know any easy way to measure these out. So the only way I know would be the easiest for me, how Tammy's brain works, is going to be taking this pipette and drawing out 2 mils of the 99% isopropyl alcohol, and then opening the ink up, opening the whole bottle, and taking out 1 mil and putting it in the cup. That's the only way I know to do it. So that's what I'm going to do, and I'm going to put you on a time lapse while I do it, because it's going to take me a minute and you don't want to watch that. But there's a little ball in here that rolls around, and you have to make sure the ink is shaken up really good. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to show you how I'm going to do it, and then I'll put you on a time lapse. Now I'm going to take the alcohol and I'm going to draw to 2 mils. Okay. Drop it in the cup. And now I'm going to open this up, and I'm going to get out 1 mil. And drop it in the cup. And I'm going to leave that pipette with that cup, because we will continue to use that pipette, dropping it on the coaster. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Whoop! Look what I just did.
Welcome to the chaos.
We have all of our colors ready. So now, here's our coaster. Let's get started. Let's see. Let's go with this color. Let me get my little cup here. Let me get you down a little bit. And I also want to introduce you to one of my tools that I use in my craft room when I'm using paint palettes and things like that. It's how I move paint. I'm going to zoom you back out so I can show you this right quick. I use this air tool right here. And let me show you. Turn it on the bottom. You hear that? And you can turn it up here. So I'm going to show you how I use that. Let's go ahead and put a drop on our coaster here. Now I'm going to get you back down. You can also use one of these to move the ink. But I like to use that air tool I just showed you. Alright, we're going to put a drop of that. Let's put a drop of the white. And then a drop of this color. I'm not familiar with the colors, so that's why I'm not calling them by their names right now. And let's move that. Oh, wow. Look at that. This might be easier for this technique. Yeah, so I'm just going to stick with this. But I love using this too when I'm using a canvas. But I think we're going to stick with this right here to do this. Okay. Now let's get some more colors in there. I love this white. And there's a meter. Oops, I got too much. There's a meter on the inks too that tells you the degree of the ink. And all of the ones that I have are high. Let's do this. Well, we'll do that on the next coaster. I'm going to continue on like this, and then on the next coaster, we're going to try it a different way, okay? Look at that. Wow. That is amazing. Whoo! Man, this is so much fun. Let me tell you. And if you make a mistake and you don't like it, you can just take alcohol and clean it off and start right on over. I'm going to change pipettes out because this one, something's wrong with it. It's not holding it. It's releasing it without me doing it. So I'm going to switch the pipettes out right quick. Okay, let's see. Ooh, I'm loving that. Look at that. Ooh, that is beautiful. So beautiful. Okay, now I want to go in there a little bit. I wonder if we just let this one dry, but I need to get that area right there. Right here. I'm not liking that area. So let's add a little bit of this island. Right there. And a little bit here. And here. Let's turn it over. I wonder if that would also be something that you could do. Like create on this side and maybe turn it over and see which side you like the best. That's also something you could do. I just need to fix that area. I'm not liking it. I like how that looks right there. The white, like waves are crashing into something. I like this right here. Okay, we're going to let this one dry. And we're going to move on to the next one, and I'm going to show you how we're going to do that one. Let's grab one of the coasters that we sanded the top on. Alright, this is one of the sanded coasters, so we're going to start with it, and let me show you what we're going to do with it. It's going to be a little bit different. We're going to place our inks down, and then we're going to move them around by moving the coaster. Like this. I'm going to use this. See the control you have using this? It's amazing. Look at that. Just by using this, you can control all of that air. I absolutely love using this air when I am using anything like this. When I'm doing anything like this. Check it out. Look at what we're getting. Isn't that stunning? I'm going to leave this alone. I'm not going to do anything else to it. It's turning out beautiful. Yes, that is beautiful. Okay, I'm going to go set this one to the side. I don't know what that is. Something dropped in there. I got it. I don't know what that was, but I'm glad I got it out of there. That is so pretty. We're going to let it dry and see what we get. Isn't that beautiful? Okay, I'm going to get another sanded coaster. That one seemed to work really well. So we're going to try another one because I have something else I want to throw in and try. Now I'm going to refill my inks again real quick because we have some that we need to refill. So I'm just going to do that right quick. I just wanted to let you know what I'm doing. And then I'll be right back. And here we go. I have all my inks filled up. So let's get it. Here's the thing I want to add and throw in here. I don't know what's going to happen, but something's missing, don't you think? We are going to throw in some Pinata Gold. It's the brass alcohol ink. So let's see what'll happen. But first, I'm going to get my colors put down there, and then we're going to add that, okay? So let's start with some of this color. This is the Storm. I'm sorry if I do not say which color I'm using all the time because I'm not familiar with these inks. So bear with me, my friend. I don't know why it tries to separate, or, you know, on parts of the coaster. That's weird, because we did sand it. Let's add 2 drops to start with. Now I'm going to add some more of that first color we used. I think it was Storm. The white, to me, is the one that I think really brings out a wonderful effect. Okay, it's separating over there, but it's not trying to here. So I'm going to just push it right off the side, because we've already got it, you know, over here working in our piece. So I'm just going to scoot it right off the edge there. Break that up a little bit. We've got some layers going on. I don't know, I think this one's just got too much going on in it. It's a little too busy. This one is one of the glossy ones. We did not sand this one. I want to get out some of the metallic alcohol inks by Let's Resin, and let's try to pair it with this one. This is the white silver. I'm just going to grab a few out of here. I'd like to see that wine red mixed with this. And there's one more I'm looking for. Give me just a second. Black silver. Okay, we're going to go ahead and get our... We started with the colors first last time. Let's go ahead and start with the metallic first. We did gold pinata, so let's do a silver this time. I think silver looks really good with these colors that we're working with today. All right. And I'm going to put a little bit of alcohol down there with that. Now we're going to go in with some colors. And here we go. All right, I'm going to set that down. And we're just going to watch that and see what it does. I'm not going to do anything else to it. We're going to let it dry and see what it does. Okay, I'm going to go grab another coaster because we're just going to let this one dry and see what it looks like. And here is our last coaster, and it is sanded. Now we're going to drop down some of the wine red on this one. And I'm going to go ahead and put some alcohol on top of that. It seemed to work pretty good a while ago. Let's try it again. Now we're going to go in with some color. And here we go. Look how that wine red right there is kind of just sitting there. See it? Let's spritz some alcohol and see if it'll break it up. I'm just curious. Yep, it's breaking it up. Check it out. Look at that. So beautiful. Oh my word. Let's see what the black will do. Oh, look at that. Wow. Just kind of blend it in. Let's move it a little bit. I think I like that. Now let's get the Pinata gold brass. I keep saying gold, it's brass. Let's get it back out. And right through here, I want to just get a little bit there. A little bit of a catastrophe over here. Give me a second. Okay, I'm going to get my fan on just in case I need it. And this thing stays on for a long time, so you have plenty of time to get your project done, or at least I do, when I'm using it for my canvases. Alright, we're going to put just a little drop. And I'm going to get some alcohol on it. And I'm just going to move it. I guess I didn't do it in a hurry. There we go. Break it up a little bit more. Put a little bit of white in there. Okay, now I'm satisfied with that area. But this I gotta fix. I think I like that one. Yep. If you don't like, what I'm learning here is, if you don't like the, maybe you've got the coaster or your project almost there, but you just need a little something extra. Take the alcohol and spritz it on there and start moving it. For me, that's really what is topping it off. Alright, we're going to let these dry and then I'll meet you back. I can't let the rest of these inks go to waste, so I have this canvas here that I've put epoxy resin on the back of. So we're going to play around with the rest of the inks. We really don't have a whole lot left, but we can mix up some more if we want to. Alright, I got all my colors mixed up. So let's just have a play. So, what do you think? I think I'm just going to let it dry. See what it looks like. I have a mess. Look. A complete mess. but it was so much fun. All right, I will see you all when everything's dry. We are back and they are dry. I put a little piece of paper with each one of them, letting me know which ones were glossy and which ones had been sanded. So these three we sanded and these three are glossy. So let's have a look. It's very interesting in the dark areas. It's really, really unique. But we're going to put an epoxy top coat over these and see how they look. I don't know if the epoxy is going to rub them off. I don't know what's going to happen. Here's the other glossy one. This one's really pretty. I love all of the colors we got in it. All of the waves splashing in it. Like a raging sea. It's beautiful. And then these are sanded ones. I love that gold in them. I think it is so beautiful. So beautiful. I think this one is really wild. It's got a lot going on. A lot. I love the gold in it though. It's so pretty. This is the one where we just put the inks on there. I moved it a little bit and then we just let it cure. I mean, we let it dry. We didn't do anything else to it. And then we put the silver, the metallic silver in it. Our canvas is not fully dry yet, but I'll show it to you. I'm going to bring it over here. It's also very interesting how it is drying. It's almost completely dry. Matter of fact, it might be. I'm not real sure. But it's really pretty. It turned out pretty, I think. But to get a smoother canvas, I think the reason it doesn't look very good is because I should have put some kind of sealant over the canvas to make it smoother, you know, instead of just right straight on the canvas. And that's just my take from it. I don't know if that's the correct way to do it or not. Like I said, I don't know the first thing about these inks. I just picked them up and rolled with it. I watched 2 shorts. They weren't even long form videos. They were shorts that showed me how to mix it and how people place it on this paper. They were using some kind of paper that had a real smooth surface, because that's what these inks are designed for. But that's not how I wanted to use them. I wanted to experiment with them. So we're going to experiment with them inside of epoxy resin, and I also want to experiment with these inks on top of eco resin. and see what we get. All right, I'm going to mix up some epoxy resin, and we're going to top coat each of these and see how it takes a top coat. I'm just going to take some tape and just tape it on the bottom. I have my epoxy resin right here. I'm not using a top coating resin, which is a tabletop epoxy. That's what you use to top coat with. I'm just using my regular Bond Crafter epoxy resin because this is just an experiment. So let's go ahead and put the resin on. Okay, now I'm going to take them over to my other table, cover them, and then I'll meet you back and we'll check them out. See you later. We have reached the end, my friends. Would you like to see our coasters? I think they turned out so beautiful. Okay, these top three are the sanded ones, and the bottom two are the glossy ones. So let's take a look. Yeah, it got a little piece of dust there or something. So pretty. Let me see if I can get you down and we can look at them a little bit better down here. There we go. I love this over here. Really pretty. And let me know which one's your favorite. I'm going to number them before I finish the video, so you can easily let me know which is your favorite and why it's your favorite. And would you like to see me experiment further with these inks? I think it's going to be a really neat idea to use them on top of eco resin and to use them inside of epoxy resin. I love that gold paired with these inks. Absolutely beautiful. And this was so easy to do. It wasn't nothing hard about it. And if you don't like the way it looks, wipe it off with alcohol and start over. I just wouldn't clean it with your 99% alcohol. I'd use something cheaper to clean it. And this is the coaster we just poured the ink on, and I moved it around, and then we just set it down. We didn't do anything else to it. And you all know I had to make some more. I had a little bit of resin left over after I top coated these, and I had some ink left over, so I made 2 more. I love how they turned out. Now let's check out the canvas. It's fully dry. And here's the canvas. I love it. I'm going to have to do something with it. I'm going to make something with resin, some epoxy resin castings, and put them on here with some resin. I think this is beautiful. It turned out so pretty, especially for my first time using these inks. That's how much effort I had to put into making this beautiful. So if you love doing things like this, you might grab you some of those inks and check them out. They have all different colors. Here's a little pamphlet. They got a peony set, Iceland, volcano, and then sunset. That sunset would be beautiful. I want the sunset and the peony. I want all of them. I want them all. Definitely beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. But we have the marine set. Delaminating Alcohol Inks. Also, if you like doing things like this, you really should try using one of these to blow out. It's just room temperature air. Nothing hot, no heat. You should give this a try. I absolutely love it. I don't think I've ever seen anybody use something like this before, but we're all different, right? So I thought I would share it with you, and maybe you might enjoy using it when you are doing something like this. So yeah, give it a go. I'll link this one in the description box if you'd like to try the same one I have. This one lasts a really long time. I've never had it go dead on me while I've been doing something like this. Don't forget to let me know which one's your favorite and why it's your favorite. And it's about that time, my friends, for a sweet goodbye. And I will see you in the next video. God bless you. Goodbye, my friends. Oh, and one more thing. Let me know in the comment section below, what would you like to see next using these inks? See you later.